So the idea behind all of this here is that this is the thing, right? Like this is what it sounds like for the kids is they don't have to believe in Mad Max or dystopias in order for it to work. They just have to play. And then some of the questions that I ask, how does this? One of the things they have to figure out is how does this game world work? All right, just like they have to figure out like. When you get a new job, you have to figure out how the systems work in that new job. Nobody ever really tells you necessarily. You have to figure it out. I mean, right? All the nuances of especially like education, the nuances of your building, who has power, who doesn't, all this, right? I mean, and so what this does is it teaches kids how to figure out those systems. And then the last question, how do I reference life within the game world, is like basically how does my character play with everyone else's character? And so number 2, think like a gamer. My question with this whole gaming thing started, if I could do anything in my classroom, what would I do? If I could make anything happen, what would I do? And that's when I started to realize that the digital world, there's a lot more possibilities. And so for me, when it comes to designing games, I think of what is it that I want them to learn from? Like what is it I want them to learn? What's the overall idea? And then that's when I tried to figure out, okay, how can I figure out a game that plays into those themes and concepts? And then how do I create a game that will engage the kids? And that's kind of the idea here. And then this actually, the best visual I could come up with is, I've never had a class have an aha moment altogether until this year with Minecraft. So with Minecraft, there's this whole idea in Animal Farm about destruction versus construction, right? And how it's a lot easier to destroy stuff than it is to construct stuff. And so what does that mean, and what are the implications of that? And the classes that I teach, a lot of students, like, it just kind of went over their head, like, okay, whatever, Spiel, it's just English teacher talk. After we did Minecraft, I actually saw, after we started talking about deconstruction and construction, and I said, what happened when I turned on player versus player, and you knew that you could blow up other people's stuff, you knew that you could kill people in the digital world? And they're like, that's all we did. I said, what happened to your windmills? And instantly, it was almost audible. They were like, oh. And all of a sudden they realized, okay, now I get it. Like, it makes sense that we would forget about building when we had the power to destroy. And so that played that concept huge. And that was really cool because I'd never seen that before. I never had kids pick up on that before. The other thing it does is, a lot of times, so I could have given a worksheet about Animal Farm, about this whole construction, destruction thing, but it would have been like right here. But once they played in the world itself, there's all of this stuff that came out of it, especially for a lot of the kids that wouldn't have seen that level of depth to that kind of text, right? And not only that, but the next text, like, they're super excited because they know that we're going to be doing Minecraft for the next book, but it's a completely different concept, and I'll share with you guys what that's going to be, and I'll even show you what the world's going to kind of look like here. So this is what I want to show you. So Minecraft has been around for years. I love it. I played tons with my kids. I've learned how to play Minecraft from my 9-year-old, my 11-year-old, and they've taught me a ton because they watch YouTube videos all the time. They do all kinds of building. They taught me how to use redstone. Like, they taught me how to create elevators, all kinds of stuff. I had no idea how they would have figured this out. So I started to realize that because Minecraft is what they call a sandbox, which means you can do virtually whatever you want. You can create and destroy whatever you want. And you can play in as large a world as you want to play in because the worlds of Minecraft education are essentially infinite. Okay? Plus, you can all play together in the same world. And I have control over it. And I'll explain to you what that means. So we did this whole 4-day project, whereas I call it the Windmill Challenge. And they were in 3 different groups, representing the 3 different farms of Animal Farm. One group had a shabby farmhouse, but it was filled with dynamite and something to ignite it with. One group had a humongous farmhouse that had tons of resources to build. And the last one had a pretty decent sized farmhouse, and they basically just had food. But each group was going to need all 3 of those in order to survive. But I wanted to see what would happen if I just gave them one element of that and nothing else. Very interesting what happened. So day 1, I turned off any kind of death by fire, by drowning. There's no player versus player. I said you can't blow anything up. You only can collect resources. Day 2, I said I'm going to give you 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm turning on player versus player and all damage, and then it's open season. The goal by day 4 is you have to take a picture, or I have to take a picture of your windmill with your group in front of it. Okay? And at any time in those 4 days, I can get that picture. But that's, in order for you to get credit, you have to create the biggest windmill you can, and we're going to see which group can do the best. And I'll show you what the results were here in just a minute. But after I did all this, after I spent the 4 days, I had them do a Google form because I wanted to find out, what did you think about this? And these are the results. Okay? So this was awful, although it's a fantastic. And so I had 14, I think I had 24 kids. Yeah, 24 kids do the survey. And 14 of them said it was fantastic. I had one person that said that she didn't like it. Okay? She's like, this is stupid. I thought it was a waste of time. Now, she didn't participate at all. She signed in. She had her character there. She just sat there. She didn't do anything at all. Didn't even attempt to do anything at all. Okay? So take that for what you will. All right? But, I mean, we had some of the gamut here. Then I asked them, should we use it again? Almost 67% said yes, we should use it again. Okay? There was 25% said yes, I don't really care, highly disagree, same person. Okay? I just thought that was kind of interesting. So let me do this. I want to show you something here. How many guys have ever played Minecraft? Oh man. Okay. Believe it or not, this is not an advertisement for Minecraft. I just want to show you. If I can get your brain working in a different mode, like to think about things a little differently, that's my goal in showing you this, okay?
How many of your students were familiar with Minecraft?
About 70% probably.
Okay.
I think somewhere around there. Yeah.
I'm familiar with it though. I've just never played.
Heard about it.
Yeah, I had probably 50% were really, really good. And some people had no idea what they were doing at all. So, all right, so let me show you. Oh, I think I deleted the worlds. Let me show you. I'll show you the world that I made. By made, I mean altered. I didn't actually make the world. So, where is it? All right. So this is the world. So what happens is Minecraft it's all blocks, right? And the idea is that they have these seeds. There's like the world, so there's individual worlds, and you can whatever. So I found the seed, which I thought was kind of cool. So I'm going to fly so I can show you what this looks like. So,
Are those clouds over there?
huh?
Are those clouds up there?
Yes, clouds. Yep. So I kept it all within a fairly small area, even though this world is really huge. And I didn't put up any borders because in Minecraft Education, I can actually put up borders so kids can only play in a certain area instead of having the whole world to play in. So let me show you the farms that I made. So the only thing I really changed is, if you get motion sick, I'm sorry. So this is one farm, right? And so this guy explains what it is that they're supposed to do. And then here's a website that they can click on to go to, which will give them directions on how to actually make a windmill. Okay? All right. So then then you can see, this is what I gave them. Dynamite, torches, and flint to light the dynamite. That's about it. Okay?
Can you collect the sheep?
Yes. You can kill the sheep for wool and food.
Oh.
So this is Frederick. Huge, right? My goal was I wanted them to be able to be seen by the other two camps. Okay? And they have all kinds of stuff in theirs. I mean, they got food, they got diamonds, building blocks, swords to defend, all right? And they have everything. Then this is the last one, is all the way over here. And the reason why I did this is because I wanted them to be far enough away so that you couldn't just be on top of each other and just blow each other's houses to pieces, okay? So this is the last group, okay? Right? Once again, guy in the corner with directions, okay? And so I set all this stuff up, and that's a whole other day to show you how to do that. But and then what I did was I had them all spawn. Hopefully I still have that there. I made a sign. Yeah, here it is. So I set it up so that way they all spawned right here. So when they came into the world, they were facing this. And they were all put into different groups. So that way they had to figure out which farm they went to. So they traveled to their farm first, see what they had.
So like they each have a little character
Yes.
that's in this world and everybody
Yes.
can see it.
Yep,
Every individual.
yep, yep. Every
Yep.
single person.
Like 20-some characters like flying around.
Yes, you can have up to 30 characters in the world at a time.
And
They were-
they
they were-
with what? Like what do they have? In
They had a
hands?
mouse and they had a laptop and they had a mouse that they were playing with. They weren't allowed to fly because I turned off creative mode for them. So I was in creative mode, but they were in survival mode, which means they had to eat. They had to, at night zombies show up and monsters show up, and so they defend off all those things while trying to make their windmill.
So that brings The Sims into it, right?
It does. It's very much, yeah, exactly, right? All right. And so I want to show you the aftermath. So I showed them what they had to start with. And they got really ticked off when I showed them this. Because they're like, oh man, they got all that diamond, they got all that stuff. Like these guys, the funny thing is these guys won. There's only one group that actually completed a fairly decent windmill. The rest, I'll show you what the results were. But this group actually won, and the reason they won is because they're the only group that had a strategy. No other group had a strategy between the two class periods, which I thought was very
Do the kids
interesting.
talk to each other and make
Oh
a
yeah,
plan?
yeah. So like they sat next to each other, and they were. So this group, my sixth grade class, this group strategized. So they had the least resources, but they won. This group lost horribly in both class periods because they got cocky. Because they thought, we have all this stuff, we can wait till the last day to build it all, we're just going to mess with everyone else. And then Pilkington was, they were kind of somewhere in limbo. Both of these groups ended up attacking this group, okay? And so this is exactly what I wanted to happen. I wanted to have this group be the winner, and I wanted to have these guys feel like, oh, we're easily going to win this, we got all this stuff, like this is going to be super easy. And I told them, I said, look, you don't all have the same resources. I did start by saying that, okay? So this is second period. I had to build these blocks you can't destroy. I had to build those around that group because they died so many times. They weren't going to be a windmill. This group built their own because they were Frederick, or no, I guess they were Jones. Yeah, they just decided they had totally left their farmhouse and built it somewhere else so that it wouldn't get blown up, although it still got blown up. And this group, I had to tunnel underground, blow a huge hole underground in order for them to build their windmill underground because they died so many times. Okay? Second period was a mess, right? And so it was interesting because we talked about it and some of the kids were like, I got so frustrated because I was in the middle of building and someone would come over and shoot me with an arrow and I died and I'd start all over again. Yeah, exactly, right? Sixth period this is unbelievable. So these guys did that. They made a lava fountain out of their windmill. That's lava, right? So, and then they tried to build kind of a windmill, and that's what they did. That's what they had left. This is the Manor Farm. This is the guys that had the plan. This is the only team that actually had any kind of a plan and worked together, and this is what they got. Easily destroyed easily like blew any other one out of the water. And this is another group. Once again, I had to blow a hole underground so that way they could build it underground just so they could actually try to complete it because they were too busy fighting or any other kinds of things. And so what came about from all this, what they started to realize was that, oh man, if we would have focused less on trying to destroy everyone else's group and more on our own, we could have had a much better windmill. And so there's 2 minutes left in the class period on Thursday, and they're like, oh no, we don't have a windmill, what are we going to do? Like, guys, you had 4 days. And like, yeah, we kind of started it, and then we decided we're just going to kill everyone else. Or steal stuff, and then it became like retaliation. Like, they stole our stuff, so we're going to steal their stuff. And so this is some of the questions that I asked them afterwards. And the answers they had for this were actually pretty incredible. Because they're like, we now understand how the animals felt on Animal Farm. Like, we totally get it, because they're like, every time we tried to do something, we just got stopped by another group, or any progress we had just got blown to pieces. And like, eventually, the groups were like, we all got to the point where we're like, we don't even want to try to do this anymore because we know it's just going to get blown up anyways. But one thing I've learned is just let go. If you really do give students free will, and the game doesn't go exactly the way that you planned, sometimes that's the best thing possible. Because you learn all kinds of things about the kids learn all kinds of things about themselves. You can still use it to jumpstart all kinds of conversations at a depth of understanding that you probably wouldn't normally get. I'll let you read the quote. I don't want to say that games are good just because they're games, right? That's as naive as saying, well, only lectures are good education. So it really does come down to the design of the game. Does it do what you want it to do? I wouldn't use Minecraft if it didn't do what I wanted it to do. If I didn't already have the concept, I would have gone with something else. But because Minecraft allowed me to do what I wanted to do, that's why I use Minecraft. So maybe that's not what you want to do. Maybe you don't want to create a dystopian game. That's fine. But the idea is if you can find something that works for you. I just knew that I'd spent years searching for something that I wanted to do in class. And so I finally was like, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to make it myself as best I could. So